I'm Sue Boo, bringing crafting to you. I'm doing my final part of part 5 of card making with the Lots of Happy card kit and the family party stamp set. Now don't forget, if you order in November the card kit and the family party stamp set, then I will be reimbursing your postage in December if you shop with me. All you've got to do is click on the link on my business page and it will take you straight to my shop. Thank you. Right, so the final one we're going to be making is a fun fold card. And what I have done is I have cut up 2 of the envelopes from the set that's the bigger size. So I've just cut down to cut this piece off, and then just cut down this side and this side with an arrow, opened it up, and then I have cut to measure. It measures 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. So you'll need to do that twice because you need to cut up 2 envelopes. And then we're going to use the standard card base. This is actually American size, so it actually measures in length 8.5 by 5.5. So it has a score already down the middle. As previously, you're going to fold and score so that it folds back on itself. Then you are going to put it in on your scoreboard or on your trimmer scoreboard, and you are going to score it at 2 1/8. So you're going to score it down at 2 1/8, and then it's already got your score down the middle. And then you are going to turn it around so that you've turned it round by 180 degrees. You are going to line it up in your trimmer to score at 2 1/8, but make sure that your trimmer blade is out of the way, and you are going to use your measurement on your trimmer, and you are going to come down as far as 2. I'll just double check that, just make sure. Yes, 2. You're going to score at 2 1/8, and you're going to go down to 2 3/8, just scoring it. Then you're going to put it back in your trimmer, and you are going to line it up at 2 3/8, and then you're just going to use your cutting blade. And the perfect thing about our cutter and trimmer, as it has got these marks on the side that go along, you can see them on the top, and if you line that up with your score line and then press down and then bring it all the way till you are level with your next score line, so you will have made a cut like that. Hi Valerie. So then you are going to score and burnish your score lines. So we've already folded it in and burnished. Then we're going to fold it back on itself and burnish, and then the middle bit we are going to pop out and score and burnish that. So you'll end up with a card that looks like that. Now we are going to cover it with DSP, but we've used the envelopes to do this. And how you do that is you for the let's see if it's that one. Yeah, for the left hand side one, what you're going to do is you're going to put it in your trimmer until you get to 3 inches. You are going to cut down as far as your two, let me see on my writing, DSP4, that's the right side, left side. You're going to cut it down to 2 1/8. You are then going to move it to 3 1/8, cut down again to 2 1/8, and you will be left with a strip that you can push back and cut off. And then we're going to do, so that's going to fit on that side of your card like that. And then we're going to now do the second one. So your your right hand side one now, you are going to put your DSP in at 2 1/4, and you are going to cut down as far as your 2 1/8, move it along by 1/8, cut down again till you get to the 2 1/8, and then you're going to cut the back again so you've got that strip. Okay, now the top part of this one you are going to fold back on itself and burnish, and that will be part of the bottom part, and the top one you're going to fold back the bigger one on itself and burnish, and that will be part of the top one. So now I'm just going to glue those on. So I'm going to glue it flat, put it flat, and put my glue on now. So we're just going to make sure you've got that glue on your DSP. So remember, I'm using everything from the card kit. I have not used anything else other than what's in the kit. So if this is all that you have, you will be able to make this card. So I'm just going to use my bone folder on there, and then I'm going to do the other side. And there we go. And the lines. There we go. And then we're just going to make sure we've got an even increment all the way round, and then just burnish that down as well. So now we will have, when we pop that up, we'll have our card base like that, okay? And it will obviously stand like that. So we want a support bar to put in the back. Now what I did for this is I did use my bigger little cards of the two, and I just cut a strip that was I think that's 5/8. So I made a strip, cut a strip off that was 5/8 long. Leave your score line in because you want that score line, okay? But then I found that it was too long on the big one, so it's up to you, because I think, no, it's not quite, you do need the big one. So you must cut it off the big card. Don't throw this away. Remember, I will use it for something else in the project later on. Okay, so the actual piece, we then need to take, what did I do? I needed to cut 5/8 of an inch off, so I trimmed off 5/8 of an inch off each side. So from the score line, you're making sure that you're taking an even amount off either side. So you are taking 5/8 of an inch off either side, and then when you've taken your 5/8 of an inch off, you're going to put it back on your score line, and you are going to score at 5/8 of an inch, rotate it round, score at 5/8 of an inch, and then you're going to fold it back on itself, and then your other ones you're going to fold back like that, so that you've got a W, no, V shape. Well, it's an M, isn't it? Sorry, an M. Okay, so then what you're going to do is you're going to glue this in here. So I'm going to glue it. So if you can see, I'm going to make sure that my score line, in fact, I'm going to glue it from the back. That will be easier. So I'm going to make sure that my score line marries up exactly with the other score lines, and I'm going to glue this in place. Now, because I haven't got time to wait for it to dry and be supportive, what I would normally do, I would just normally use my glue. I'm going to put a bit of my red tape on that is very strong tape. So I'm just going to, right near the edge, I'm going to put a piece on there, and then take that off, and then a piece on the other side, and cut that off, and then I will glue the rest of it. So I'm going to take off, I'm going to burnish it with my bone folder to make sure it adheres well, and then it takes off the backing quite easily then. So I'm going to take off the backing. So we've got that there and that there, and then I'm just going to put some glue on the rest of it. Don't worry, I have got score marks on mine because I had to do a lot of trial and error. I should have done it roughly on something else, but I didn't, so I've got the trial and error. So I'm going to then just stick that, making sure that that score line right at the top there. Okay, so when I open my card, I now have got that little support mark there. Okay, so I'm just going to see if I can find my pin from the glue now, because I've finished with that for the moment. Now, I'd already, ahead of time, I'd already prepared my pieces, and I showed you how to colour these in, and I did another 2 of those, but what I did, they come on a square. So all I've done, I'll just show you on the whole piece, they came with a square in the middle. So what I did was just fussy cut round them after I coloured them to leave them like this. Okay, and then also I told you about how I coloured my vellum in a previous one. I usually just tell it on the video, Valerie, so that you just rewind the video so that you can see the measurements. So I this time didn't colour these with the lemon lime twist. I coloured them with the mossy meadow, so they are a little bit darker. Now, as you can see, they curl up, which gives them a nice effect of being leaves, because leaves aren't straight, they do have some dimension to them. So what I'm going to do now is, while it's flat, I'm going to position my bigger one of my sprigs, and I'm just going to position my vellum round it where I'm happy with. So I am going to get, oh, I do need my glue again, so I'm going to get my glue, and I'm just going to put some glue on the back of my vellum, so that it will just be hiding behind here, so you won't really see the glue. And I'm just going to position it there and just put that down, so that should hold it in place. And then I'm going to put this on the top, and I am going to use glue dots. So I'm going to use a few smaller glue dots. So I'm just going to position the glue dots on the back of some of my foliage. So maybe on a leaf. So just put it on the back, and I just tend to rip it off. Be careful that you don't rip your flowers. So I'm going to put a couple down there and maybe one at the top. That should hold it. And so then I'm going to see where I want this. I'm making sure that my card will fold, so I'm not going right to the edge, and I'm just going to press that down where the glue dots. Now, as you can see, it will lift off. So this will give it dimension. A glue dot just gives it that tiny bit of dimension, and just make sure it closes all right. We've got a little bit poking by, but we're not going to worry about that because you'll see as I go along what I will do next. Now I'm going to again put some foliage on this side now. So again, I'm just going to put a little bit on my lower leaves and going to put that down like that. I am limited to where I can put this because of the fold, so I'm just going to place this down, so that's already down, and then I'm going to take my smaller, if you look, there is two sizes. I've lost one of my pieces, oh dear. There is the 3 size and the 2, so it went opposite like that. So I'm wanting to use the smaller one, and again I'm just going to put some small glue dots onto random pieces so it will hold it in position. And I'm going to put it there like that and have a look where I want it to go. Now I've got to be careful that it doesn't go too close to my fold. Just make sure, keep going backwards and forwards to make sure that it will close. Now I don't know what has happened to my piece. This is going to ruin it if I can't find it. Oh, it's dropped on the floor, that's fine. I've picked it. Right, so now I am going to support one of my flowers. So I'm looking which flowers, so I'm going to now position it like this to see how I want my flowers. Right, another thing I am now doing is I've cut ahead of time, I have put a strip of acetate. So I've cut this 1/2 inch, and then I go to using bigger glue dots now. So I'm just going to put a larger glue dot onto my acetate at the bottom. So I'm just going to position that there, and then I'm going to take that off. And then I'm going to decide, so I'm going to place this into my box. I will always be able to take it off if that's not the right positioning. And I'm going to put my rose now and decide whereabouts I want my rose. So I think I want my rose about there. So I'm going to put another big glue dot in the middle of this. So I'm going to peel it off the back, and oops, don't want that on yet. There we go, get it out of the way. So I am going to position this. How did I like it? Did I like it like that? So I'm going to do roughly about there, I think. Let me just have a look. Yes, that's looking nice from the front. So then I will just cut off my acetate a little bit lower than the flower, so that and just close it, just make sure that it closes all right. that you've not got any problems. Right, I've actually not stuck it far enough on to my glue dot, but actually I'm going to leave it, and I will sort that out by putting a little bit of the acetate on it at the back to cover that other additional bit. There we go, so save me messing about. So far it's looking like that, and I'm then going to see if I can put another one of these, because we're looking at the visual effect from the front. I'm going to perhaps put another 2 on here. So do I want it inside? So I'm deciding, going to look at it, so I need to be able to see there, and I'm going to put it down there. Now this one I am going to glue in place, so I'm going to just put a bit of glue on there and then position it where I want it. I have that sticking over there and put that in place. So don't know whether you'll be able to see the view that I can see quite well. That's a bit better, so that you can see. And then from the side you will be able to see the flower that's on the back there as well. So I'm going to stick more of this on here. So I'm going to just make sure it closes all right. Yes, it's closing all right. And I might put another little rose down here. So I'm not going to put dimensionals on this. I am just going to glue it down. So I don't want this one to stick up. So I'm going to glue this down, something like that. There we go, let's have a look what I'm thinking there. Okay, so I need to be able to have a look what it's looking like so far. Okay, then for the side view, I'm going to see if I can, whether it will work, to be able to put another piece so that when you're looking at the other side you have some added interest on there. Now I think this is going to stick out too far, so I'm going to just trim this little bit off and trim around here. Okay, and then I'm going to position that one on the outside this time and position that down there. That down there, and I'm just going to make sure that my card will fold flat. Well, that's okay, that will fold flat. And then I have got my sentiment, lost it, what have I done with it? Ah, there it is. And I'm going to pop that on some dimensionals. Okay. I'll get my dimensionals. I'm just going to pop a few onto this side only, as I'm going to make sure that it comes over the top like that. So I'm just going to put those on there, just fold it over, and there we go. I'm just going to position that roughly there. And so there you've got, I don't know what you class it as, well, it's a fun fold card, but a beautiful flowered card. So you could have some more sentiment on there. You could do your sentiment on the back. You could use some line paper on the back, but that's it closed, and that you're not getting the full view that I'm getting. I don't think I can angle it right, but there we go. That's my final card for the Lots of Happy card kit. I am going to be doing some projects with it. I will start those next week. So I hope you've enjoyed that. Thank you so much for watching. I will be back on Monday. Don't forget, if you shop with me this month and buy the Lots of Happy card kit and the family party, I will reimburse you your postage in December plus a free gift. Thank you very much for watching. I'll be back next week. Bye.